Continuing with this floor plan, we're now going to render in the marble countertop. Now, there are many different kinds of marble, and some are very subtle, some are very veined and very layered in their appearance. So again, it depends on what kind of marble you're using. I'm going to render this as a very light marble because that's what's, particularly fashionable and relevant at the moment. Okay, so to start out with, give yourself an indication of where some of the veins might be, or just lightly draft them in. And you can see I've already done this, but I'm just going to go over them a little bit just so you can see them. Now, it is good to look at a piece of marble or look at an image of marble when you're doing this, because you get a much better sense of how the marble is actually constructed. And if you consider that it's been created over millions of years and there are layers and layers in any marble pattern, you begin to think about it maybe slightly differently when you're going to render it. So I've just enhanced some of the veins there. Now, what I'm going to do now is, using the fat side of the marker, is using my veins to some degree as a guide. I'm just going to pull in a little bit of difference. Now, this marker is the lightest of I think it's a cool grey. And I'm going to change the nib here. I'm just going to go over it again. So that's just, the very slight difference between the whiter or lighter tones in the marble and the greyer tones in that white marble. I suppose you could argue it's like a Carrara marble. Now, I'm going to enhance some of these lines again, just to give them just a tiny bit more definition, as there probably would be in some types of marble. Maybe just pull over here. Now, in reality, there's really nothing wrong with that as it is. Now, I'm going to enhance it a little bit just to show you how you can, build the greys and whites and give it some depth. But if you're going for a fairly graphic feel, that's perfectly acceptable. Now, I have, I think I have a warm grey and a cold grey here. They're two pencils. So I'm going to just have a go with the cool grey. I'm just going to align it along one of the veins just to see what sort of impact that has. Now, it's very subtle. That just might be what we're going for. Now, where this is really handy is if, a bit of your floor rendering has come up onto the counter and you kind of darken it in that area and you sort of take that out. And that's what I mean by, don't worry too much about making mistakes. It's how you deal with them in reality that really counts or makes all the difference. And same with this as well. I'm just going to take that out, and that one as well. I mean, your eye isn't naturally drawn to them anyway. See what the cool grey looks like over this, or sorry, the warm grey over the cool grey. So you can see the difference it makes is very, very subtle. But it just maybe blends it a little bit. It's a slightly different style to the more graphic style of just, leaving very simple lines in there. And it is all about your preference. And I'm just going to try something else here. Just going to put a line along that mark. And again, you can imagine you could pull out various elements of the marble here, depending on what suits you. But basically, that's how you render marble. Just want to go over it another bit. It's one of my favourite things to do, so I just want to keep going here. Yeah, put a bit of white in just to pull it all together. Okay, so that in essence is how you render marble, be it a marble countertop, tabletop or wall. And perhaps I will do the other side of the counter in a darker marble for the next video.